All right, folks, we'll give you a second to jump in here. 1:12 a.m., probably the latest live I have done in a while. But we have very strong wind gusts traversing the area here. And I just wanted to talk about what we're going to see over the next hour or so. Again, I'll give everybody a second to jump in. This is the radar. The radar by itself does not look impressive, but some of these wind gust reports from the New York City area are very impressive, and those are going to be working in our general direction here over the next 30 to 60 minutes. Already seeing some big gusts through the area, 40 plus miles per hour. Gusts reported right now, Danbury, 40 plus in Waterbury. Down towards the shoreline, I think at Bridgeport, I saw close to 50. White Plains gusted to 53. So those are some big time gusts coming through. And again, look at these reports coming in from greater New York City here. So this is 62 miles per hour, LaGuardia. So in Queens, obviously there, 62 miles per hour, LaGuardia. This is JFK, I believe. Yeah, it's JFK, 72 miles per hour. 72. That is nearly hurricane force gusts. Same thing here, Newark Airport, 71 miles per hour. These are huge gusts that are coming in. This is big wind, right? This is not joking around wind. Um, Another Newark Airport one, 70 miles per hour. So this is big time stuff, right? And that was I'll put the radar in motion. All of these gusts came from this line. It's a little bit broken, but it's almost to Connecticut. So again, reason I jump on the live at 1:13 a.m. This line contains at least 55 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Might be slightly more. It did sample at 70 plus JFK, 70 plus Newark, 60 plus here in LaGuardia. So again, big time stuff. As far as what's currently happening, what I'm seeing, um, I had to scan around for a little bit. Uh, Ridgefield, Danbury, Brookfield, Newtown, several trees and wires down. They're running incidents there throughout those communities. New Milford seemed to be a hot spot up here. New Milford was seeing some wind damage. I think that I saw three or more reports of power outages there that affected multiple people, dozens of people. So just keep that in mind as well. I think the power outage threat again lasts for about another hour. The big wind should peak here through about 2 a.m. before it tapers off a little bit. Yeah, I know. Make it stop. It's going to stop soon, but right now we are in full swing here as far as what we're seeing from the system. It took a while to get going, right? I mean, the amount of comments I got tonight. Oh, this storm is a bust. Oh, you hyped this one up. Blah blah blah. I'm like, guys, after all the winter storms we've been through this year, after all the winter storms, this is the one that you decide to tell me that I'm hyping up. Come on, like right? This is just a rain and wind event, but we try not to do that. And the reason was we saw on guidance a consistent signal. Now it took later; it got here a little later than I thought, but we saw a consistent signal for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and whenever we get that high of wind values, right, we need to put that in the forecast. So. Just based on the way the data was, I don't want to get too technical, but we had what's called good mixing, right? So I thought the strong gusts would be able to make it to the surface when we got into this situation. Um, and then we saw it's such a big storm, right? Massive storm, affected us all day. Those periods of rain started early yesterday morning, and then it rained on and off all day, downpours at times, and then the wind really ramped up. It came in waves this afternoon. We had a wave around 4 p.m., then a wave around 8 p.m., where we saw gusts to 40, and then this is the grand finale here, where we see the gusts to about 60 miles per hour, perhaps even more. If you're just jumping on, I'll show you what I'm looking at here in terms of these big numbers that got me doing the live, right? So again, Newark Airport, 71 mile per hour confirmed wind report. LaGuardia, 62 miles per hour confirmed wind report. These are big, big numbers. We usually see, I mean, in these type of events, you can see up to 55, 60, right? But when we start seeing 70 plus, we start getting towards hurricane force gusts. That's when we need to jump on the live because a lot of people have the potential to lose power. This is JFK. So if you're flying into JFK, we did forecast a lot of flight delays, flight cancellations. It's probably what happened. 72 mph confirmed wind gust at JFK, which is really, really impressive. You can see what they're doing live too. Live 54 with a wind speed, sustained winds 35 miles per hour is a lot. So that's going to ground all your air traffic there at JFK for the foreseeable future. And then again, if I zoom in here, this is the line that I'm worried about. Somebody just copped on and said they lost power in New Fairfield. I'm wondering if this line contains those bigger gusts. And it doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like, oh, that's a severe, that's not a severe thunderstorm, but it's a boundary. And what happens is the wind direction is going to shift abruptly from the south and it's going to go to the west really, really fast as cold air comes in. And when that happens, sometimes you can get those gusts to mix to the surface very efficiently. We have what's called a little bit of downward momentum with that. So that would be the concern as, again, this line pushes pushes to the east into our greater Danbury area. Does this contain those 60 plus mile-per-hour wind gusts? I realize I cannot draw. So just bear with me there a little bit. Not in the usual live setup. And I am holding the baby. There he is. He's sleeping right now, so I'm not going to disturb him too much. But yeah, John, that line has big wind gusts, the cold front behind it. Been waiting for this all night. Yeah, again, it took its time getting here. It really did. I thought this was going to come through closer to 11 when I forecast this morning, I thought maybe 10 or 11 p.m. for this line. Turns out we're after 1 a.m. and it's finally coming through. Maria, that's a funny comment. My 7-year-old woke up asking if we're all going to fly away. No, we're not going to fly away, hopefully. But yeah, that's funny. I mean, it's tough with the kids sometimes, right? You got to explain what's going on, and they really just don't quite understand. My oldest one will sleep through anything. The youngest one already woke up tonight. Obviously, I have the baby, or the younger one. She's had 3 now. And I have the baby here. Yeah, Michaela, thank you for the report there with the power out in New Fairfield. Appreciate it. I'll leave the radar up so we can see live when we update there. But yeah. Again, Monica, thank you for the reports there. As that line kind of comes through, that's what I would expect. So we can zoom right into New Fairfield, and see what exactly we're working with here. The reason that I invest in this radar array is so I can zoom into your house. But so this is downtown New Fairfield right here. Let me pause it. So this is the line right on Ball Pond Road, and it's moving quickly to the east. This is New Fairfield Stop and Shop right here, Pembroke Road, Route 37, Route 39 over there. And that line is going to, again, quickly move towards the Candlewood Lake region. So if you have interest on Candlewood Lake, this thing's going to cross it. And again, if we get those bigger gusts to mix down, we've seen it before. Sometimes they hit that open fetch of the lake, and they even get a little bit stronger as they move across, and there's less friction for them to battle. So just keep that in mind too. New Milford, it's getting really close to you. So if you're in downtown New Milford, again, this line very well could contain severe damaging wind gusts. So downtown New Milford, heads up. It's coming to you right now, and even north into Litchfield County, right? Marbledale, Warren, South Kent just came through there. Washington, Morris is knocking on the door. These are areas that I expect to really see things ramp up here in the next 20 minutes or so. Put it in motion again. I know it's not quite a lot to look at, like we're not tracking, severe isolated supercells here. But you can see everything that's going on. We have the special weather statement in effect. And again, they think widespread gusts to 55 miles per hour. That includes pretty much everybody in our viewing area: Danbury, Meriden, Brentwood, New Haven, Stanford, Waterbury, Norwalk, Middletown, Wallingford, just to cover Shelton, just to cover all the bases there. This is an interesting special weather statement because they already have a wind advisory up. So They're just kind of extras. It's like a double warning. We're already in a wind advisory for gusts up to 55 miles per hour. And they decided to slap this special weather statement on, probably because they saw some of these reports again down here in the greater New York City area. I was waiting for one to see if we'd get one. Sometimes they like we get one out of New City or the Hudson River area here, but I haven't seen one yet. We can see again what White Plains. White Plains is still gusting to around 50 miles an hour here live, sustained at 30. So it is very gusty there. But I think this report might be a little old because I'm waiting for them to flip out of the west. It's still showing a southerly direction here as of 1 a.m. And when it initially flips to the west, right, that's when we're concerned for those big gusts to mix down to the surface. All right. I'll look at some of your questions here. Again, I thank you for so many of you for tuning in. Let's see, we got John on the air, John Ross. Happy birthday, man. Hey, happy birthday. 37 years old. 37 years young. Hopefully no power outages on your birthday, John. We got some live reports here. Eddie Gordon lost power Hillside Drive area in New Fairfield. Sorry to hear that, Eddie. Hope for the quick restoration. Andrew. Yeah, man. I mean windy. I might be making jokes. It's also 1 a.m. I don't know what I'm saying. So if I say something stupid, just let me know. Wind is crazy in Old Hollyville and Bethel. Hoping my garbage cans at the end of my driveway stay upright. Yeah, we should have done the garbage can graphic, right? I didn't get one out. I didn't get one out during the evening, so here we go, John. Newtown has a few serious gusts, by the way. A few power lines down right now. Appreciate it, John. Thank you. Kim, the big question, right? When will it die down? So I really do think winds will peak through about the next hour. It's about 2:30 a.m. and then it should slowly die down. It'll still be gusty out of the west as colder air works in, but I expect it's still warm right now. It's in the 50s. And we can look at that actually. We can look at the temperatures quick here, and I'll show you what I mean. But it's still warm in the 50s. That's got to drop all the way to the 30s. Here's temperature. Yeah, 58 in Danbury right now. But look at this colder air, right? 31, 32 near Scranton, PA. So that's not a huge distance where we go from 58 to near freezing. And that's part of the reason what's driving these wind gusts. As I feel one in my chair, that was pretty cool. Got a vibration going in the house right now. It's so windy out as this line does approach me. So right here, looks like it's coming between exit 2 and exit 3 in Danbury, Mill Plain Road as it enters downtown Danbury. But yeah, man, these winds are no joke. But again, if I went on too long of a rant there, Kim, what I was trying to say was I think it will die down in the next hour and a half. Liam, what's up, man? Hey, Liam's a aspiring meteorologist, right? Crazy wind gusts in Newtown, whole house feeling the brunt. Appreciate the report, man. Thanks for staying up with us. Yeah, Andrew. Nobody can sleep, right? So we're all tuned in. Watch Jack stutter. So when I interned at Channel 8, if you don't know that. So when I was like fresh out of college, I was like 21, 22 years old, and I interned at Channel 8. And I think one of the hardest parts for me was I was still on that college schedule of like you stay up really late and then you sleep in. And then the news station makes you be there at they want you there at 4 o'clock. So obviously I lived in Danbury. I was like an hour away. So I'd have to wake up at 2 to kind of be able to leave, get my suit on, get everything all prepped, to take a shower. And by the time I got out the door, it wasn't until like 2:45, 3 to be there at 4. And I always felt off every single time. I never felt quite right doing what I needed to do there. I learned a lot, but it was just like that schedule was brutal for me. Which is probably part of the reason I'm not on TV, to be completely honest with you. You got some power outages here. Hey, Carson, thanks for the report, man. Um, you have a really cool name, Carson Shaughnessy. I like that. But out of power, Litchfield, Northfield. So yeah, even in Litchfield County, right, feeling the brunt of these gusts as they come through. Yeah, that line is going to hit Naugatuck. Absolutely. You just got to wait like 20 minutes. It'll be there. It'll be into New Haven County. Yeah, wild New Milford Sherman line right now. Thanks, Leslie, for the report there. Do you ever sleep, Jack? I'm working at Danbury Hospital. Sounds scary, windy. I tuned in to see what the gusts actually were. Yeah, so right now you're at least 40 plus. I think we're probably close to 50. The hospital's going to enhance it a little bit, right? When you're up on that elevation there. So if you're hearing the gusts hit like the fifth floor of the hospital, you're going to get probably 50 plus miles per hour. We'll see if we get a confirmed gust as this line passes through Danbury Airport live. But thanks for being with me, Kim. And no, I don't really sleep. I try to get like little naps here and there, right? Anyone locally have power outages? Danbury and Brookfield? Yeah, so there are scattered outages. I heard the police and fire were on Long Ridge Road in Danbury, Brushy Hill Road in Danbury, which are again those heavily wooded neighborhoods that we're always a little bit more concerned about. Andrew, yeah, at least 50 miles per hour exit one right now, and that's where it's really coming down. Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, King Street. We love the reports always up there in the wild King Street kingdoms of Danbury. Again, that's where that line is pushing through. Wind just hit Rodney. Rodney, tell us where you're at, Rodney. No, appreciate the report. How do the rainfall totals look? Yeah, man. So Litchfield County got a little bit less. We actually got a decent amount. I'll show you on the map. Fairfield County did really well with the rainfall. I think I saw it's basically 2.5, 3 inches of rain. As I pull up the wrong thing here, but we can look at rainfall quick. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. Central Fairfield County did really well. Some of these areas over 2 inches, 2.75 in Reading here. Yeah. So about, I'd say 1.5 to 2.5 through Central Fairfield County. And then it gets a little bit less, more like 1 to 1.5 as you get towards New Milford and points north. And this is actually kind of cool because you can see we had a little bit of what's called orographic lift here. So as this southerly wind comes in, the shoreline doesn't get quite as much, and it'll actually lift into the hills here, and it'll set up a nice little boundary. It'll get some enhancement, and you always get this enhancement just inland. And these are kind of like, if you follow this is where some of the terrain starts to get a little bit higher. So it's that southerly flow that's hitting the hills of southern Connecticut, basically. And it just squeezes out a little bit more juice. That's your Ridgefield, your Reading, your Monroe. I even mentioned that in a post last night. The upper hills of Shelton, right? And then you drop a little bit. This is the valley here. There's not quite as much. And then you get back up into the hills of kind of the eastern New Haven, Middlesex County, and it goes up a little bit more. So I don't know what I just drew there, but you kind of get the picture. Cool little local microclimate, micro effects there. But yeah, man, over an inch of rain most places. You know, some of the shoreline towns probably got a little bit under. They're going to tell me they didn't get enough rain and I undersold the storm. But 1.5 to 2 inches, 2.5 inches about through central Fairfield County, central New Haven County, 1 to 1.5 pretty much everywhere else. Yeah, look at this line. Nice little skinny line. So behind this, right? And these reports are going to be a little bit, they're going to lag a little bit, right? We're not going to get live Danbury reports here. It's still showing, southerly winds as of 1 a.m. But I'm hoping they give us a 1:30 intermediate update. We'll be able to see what we're gusting to. It should be pretty hefty. It's going to be a rough night sleeping. I agree, Donna. Every night's a rough night sleeping for me, though, personally. I'm joking, but Yeah, thanks, Carl. Appreciate it, man. You want to see EverSource outage map? I don't have that on the same tab, but if you want, I can look at it. Probably get demonetized, but whatever. It's all good, right? Over 200 outages right now. New Milford, Connecticut for power. Thank you, Tanya. Appreciate it. You know what? Actually, I think they added some power outage capability. I don't exactly know what I'm doing right now, so just bear with me. I think they added some power outage capability to this. I don't know how good it is. County outages, state outages. Looks like a lot of colors. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, so Putnam County is giving us 1,400 outages. Let's see if I can see. Too many layers going on here. Let me pull some of these off. I have the flood watch on there still. We got how many warnings can be in one state? All right, hold on. Do we get it off? Nope. All right, I'll have to work on that, but we're getting good numbers for New York right now. But I can see if I can pull up power outages from EverSource. It'll be a little more accurate anyway. We try to turn that layer off so we're not looking at crazy stuff here. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah, still not working. All right. Yeah, I'll pull the numbers for you guys. See if we see any velocity on here too while we're messing around with it. And not much to look at except for pretty colors. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, we're graph. All right, yeah, Kelly, appreciate the report here. Crazy winds are crazy in Ansonia. That line will get to you. Yes, that line will get. I think all the way through at least the like Connecticut River. Mike, what are you doing up, man? How's it going, man? Mike's another meteorologist. Hey, Tracy. Thanks for checking in from downtown. Um, yeah, so winds, if you're just tuning in, I think winds peak through this hour. They should start to die down after 2 a.m. Oh, no, sorry to hear, Samantha. I just lost power in Bethlehem. Again, up there in Litchfield County. Oh, lost power in Sherman. Just saw a big blue glow in the sky. That's probably your transformer blowing. I do have the scanner on in the background. It sounds like it was Sharon or Kent just went to a transformer explosion as well. 10,000 outages per EverSource last. That's a lot. Yeah, that's a good amount. Um, EverSource actually like I used to talk to one of their I don't know what to call them, one of their guys, right? Fairly consistently. But basically, what they would do is they group the storms by expected outage numbers. So to prepare for it, right? If they're like they have different thresholds. So if the storm's going to cause at least 5,000 outages, they have a certain response. If it's going to be 10,000 to like 20,000, they have another response, and then obviously it escalates from there until you get to like a hurricane or something. Um, yeah, Payne Road. Love these live reports, guys. Um, Bethel side, Route 25 winds picked up just now. Oh, sorry, I'm Payne. Bree Payne. Thank you, Bree. Yeah, we can zoom back in. I can definitely hear it. But it looks like the line has made it to Newtown here. Yeah, so about it's into Newtown now. We're starting to get these like multiple skinny lines pop up. So one might take over and mix Gus down to the ground here. If you're in Naugatuck, just watch this first line, second line here, and then behind this, there's just a little bit of action left. And then I'm looking for more live wind reports too. I don't see any. Just those same cluster from New York City area. But again, yeah, hoping after it sounds a little bit less to me outside right now. I do have headphones on, but after 2 a.m., I think it'll die down most spots, and then hopefully it just kind of makes for a we can look at what damage there is in the morning and go from there. Not too much left. I mean, we've been talking about this for 24 hours though. Yeah, Kim, it definitely could mean that. Um, you could always get a little bit of gusts behind the line though as colder air mixes in, right? So it's hard to say for sure. It's not like these wind events aren't linear. I try to tell people that. Um, again, the amount of comments I got before about like this storm did nothing, the storm is a dud. I'm like, you just have to wait for it to ramp up. Like I know people get impatient, but it's like it wind events they go up and they come down. It's not like forecasting snow or something where it's like, oh, I know it's going to snow the whole time, and we'll try to pick out like where the heaviest snow occurs. It's like wind. It's like there's a window where it could get really gusty for a little bit. Um, it's a lot harder to pin down exactly. Hey, thank you, Marie. Thank you for the report, Bridgeport. Um, Starting to see those strong gusts too. Ah, Candace lost power. Sorry to hear that. Again, several reports live right now of hi Millie of transformers blowing. Getting getting glows. I'm hearing the scanner behind me go off, especially Litchfield County area. But I know it's not it's not a ton to look at here, but um, I'll draw it one more time before we hop off. But this is the line, and it's going that way. There's colder air here that's trying to work in. And a lot of times, as that colder air works in along these skinny boundaries, you get these gusts that kind of mix down to the ground really efficiently, and it picks up really fast. Out in front of this line too, there is there's a low level jet with southeast winds screaming. So that is happening too. Oh no, Linda, sorry to hear. Large tree down in our driveway and all over our deck. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, Carl, thanks for the report here. So, Carl's one of our best spotters, Ridgefield, West Mountain area. Um, so he's saying that significant temperature drop the last 10 minutes, and the wind has died down. So that's good news. I think that was Sherman that just toned out behind me for transformer on fire as well. Yeah, Kim, thanks. Also dying down Candlewood Lake. So it looks like to me this is probably the boundary, more or less. We're not getting a lot of big gust reports behind this, which is great news. So again, if you're east of this, if you're in the Bridgeport, right, you're zooming. If you're in Waterbury, you're still seeing those really big gusts. But if you're off to the west of the line, Your New Milford, your Danbury, your Stamford. Looks like the worst is over, so that's great news. That's the power of the live reports too. Thank you for all those. They really do help, right? We're able to pass the information along live. Oh boy, a million trees in the back of my condo here in Brookfield, always Fairfield. Yeah, that's tough, right? That's like one of the downfalls of living in Connecticut. Lots of branches down Stratford to New Milford. That's a long drive, Connie. Jeez, that's a good one. Yeah, scanner is lit up behind me. I'll get you guys the latest here. It sounds like New Milford. Yeah, Todd. Hope no school tomorrow. Somebody finally brought it up, right? Um, I. It depends on what roads are closed, right? If there's enough road closures, then yeah. Otherwise, no. I can't really like predict that, right? Oh, that's what you guys meant. I didn't say it. It was titled that. Okay, yeah, I can change the title. I reused the. I wanted to get on quick, so I reused the graphic that or the. I reused the studio setup that I had used the last time I went live, which apparently was the Blizzard, which makes sense. I was like, I don't think I said Blizzard out loud. I'm not that tired. But thank you. I'll change the title, Sabrina. Appreciate that. Thank you, Connie. Oh no. Yeah, wind took down a large tree in our yard, hoping you missed everything. And again, scanner sounds like that was Sherman just toned out again for a transformer fire next to American Pie. If you're in that area, Liam. So Liam again, Newtown. As that line comes through live, wind is howling outside my window right now. Room is second floor, west facing, and it's like a loud whistle. Starting to get that train. You're starting to get the freight train vibes. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Hope I said that right. Elpida? Elpida? All right. Well, I'll hop off. Almost 2 a.m. Time to try to get some rest. Um, Baby Benson says hi to everybody. He's doing well, happy, healthy. We like doing live videos together. He's been good too. Not a peep. You wouldn't even know he's here. But garbage can blew off my deck. Thank you, JC. Yeah, I should have. I mean, I should have had that at level 4, right? Down the street or whatever for the garbage can. Yeah. All right. Good night, guys. Appreciate it. We'll end the stream. Thank you. I woke the baby up, so that's my bad. Have a great night.